Learn that no matter what happens or how bad it seems today, life does go on, and it will be better tomorrow.
It's dangerous to dwell on past mistakes because people sort of define themselves by the worst moments that they've ever had. You gotta get through failure. It's very important. And you get through it by just picking yourself back up and moving forward and going.
You know, there's one place that all the people with the greatest potential are gathered. One place, and that's the graveyard.
The number one regret of the dying is they didn't take risks. They didn't become their ideal self. And I think that sometimes people hold off braveness and courage because they don't want to risk failure and they don't want to risk shame. And I think you got to risk it.
You need to decide what you want. You need to decide what you want to be remembered for. You need to decide what your legend will be.
Fear is a companion that you do not need. It wants to stay the whole course of your life and tell you, I'm here to keep you safe. If you would listen to me, you'll be safe. And the thing about playing it safe is that you'll never be able to open up what's in the safe. You see, what's in the safe is treasure. What's in the safe is something great. But if you can ever break through and open that safe up, the combination to winning is overcoming fear, testing your limits, and then discovering what's possible.
So many people live in their head, they go to therapy in their head, they go in circles and nothing changes because it just becomes a circular conversation. And so what do you got to get yourself to act? Well, to get yourself to act, you have to get yourself in a state where you'll do it. So you can take anything and make it represented in your mind as difficult or easy. And the way we represent things is the way we feel. You experience life you focus on. If I'm focused on what's wrong, my life is wrong. If I focus on what I love, my life is love. It really comes down to, yes, the way you represent the world is the way you experience the world. So I feel, what's life? Oh, it's a test. Well, then what's life like if it's a test? Well, if it's like a test, then it's hard and I gotta study and I could fail. Or someone would say, then life's easy because I'm good at tests. Or is life a battle? Then those people always are looking for someone to fight with. They expect there's gonna be a fight. It's always a struggle. And they find a way to make it a struggle. Is it a gift? Like however you represent life, it'll change completely what you're feeling and what you're doing.
Let me tell you something, and you listen to me, and listen to me closely. Success doesn't come to the most intelligent or the most talented. Success to come to those who are the most hungry.
And there's a thing in your life called momentum, and if you're stuck in your life, it's because there's a lack of momentum in it. Momentum takes average, ordinary people and makes them appear to be superhuman. You have to do really difficult and feared things first. So if you could start to build the habit of doing feared things first, difficult things first, if you can survive the temporary, on the other side of temporary pain, you meet another version of yourself. And I have found that in my life. Most people avoid pain and discomfort, and that what happens is they never create any momentum in their life.
But for people with a growth mindset, the brain becomes most active when receiving information about what they could do better next time. In other words, people with a fixed mindset worry the most about how they're judged, while those with a growth mindset focus the most on learning. There are other consequences of mindset. People with a fixed mindset see effort as a bad thing, something that only people with low capabilities need, while those with a growth mindset see effort as what makes us smart, as the way to grow. And when they hit a setback or failure, people with a fixed mindset tend to conclude that they're incapable. So to protect their ego, they lose interest or withdraw. We observe that as lack of motivation, but behind it is a fixed mindset. Whereas people with a growth mindset understand that setbacks are part of growth. So when they hit one, they find a way around it.
The journey to success comes with a lot of what? Failure. So why don't you teach yourself, like I taught myself, is how to fail properly. You're gonna have to learn how to get up extremely fast because you are gonna have a million setbacks on this journey. And that's how I literally taught myself how to fail first.
When you open that up and you're able to see that there is more inside of you than anyone ever imagined, and that fear was just false evidence appearing real. It appeared real, but it was false from the beginning, and the truth is what will set you free. And what sets you free is when you see yourself as you can be. When you can look in the mirror and realize that the greatest thing that you've got to overcome is the imagery you had of yourself not being your best. But your greatest days are ahead.
If you've forgotten the language of gratitude, you'll never be on speaking terms with happiness, right? Like, what are you grateful for? Every single day, just slow down, right? Like, what are you grateful for, man? Right? Because it recalibrates and puts us in the space and place that when I'm grateful, I learn more. When I'm grateful, I'm a little bit better, right? When I'm grateful, I listen a little more. When I'm grateful, I'm more in the moment.
Belief comes before ability. You're not always born with the ability, but you have to believe before you have the ability. And if you believe, you have the ability, and then you have the courage to take action on that belief and that ability, then you can start moving forward. That is momentum. Momentum is potential. It's not guaranteed success, but it is potential.
We become people that only care about the outcome, then we lose ourselves. Marcus Aurelius gives us a very nice idea on how to find the good. He says, to the lover of glory, it is the reactions of others. To the lover of pleasures, it is his own passive experience. But to the intelligent man, it is his own action.
Have to be delusional. Franz Kafka once said, by believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired. Embrace the power of your dreams, for they have the potential to shape your reality. Let your desires guide you, fuel your actions, and manifest the life you envision.
Don't listen to anybody. Don't even listen to me. You already know what you need to do. It's in you. It's talking to you all the time. You downplay it because you think you're not experienced, or you know you're not experienced, so you're scared to listen to yourself. But you know you. Your soul knows you, and that's what you're listening to in your head. Trust it. Trust your gut. Go with your first instincts. You can't lose. Words are life. Speak things into existence and create your universe. Protect yourself with your words. The universe is listening.
Destiny taps us on the shoulder, and is it going to find us ready? Are we going to be there in our finest hour? And the answer is most people don't. Most people turn away when destiny calls. We let things get in the way. We know what we're supposed to do. We know what we want to do. We know what the right thing is to do, but we don't do it. We let other things get in the way. Courage calls, but we ignore it. But what history needs, what the world needs, what you need is to answer that call and not let anything get in the way.
You're about to win big. And I have key signs that you're about to win big, because you've been doing the work, you've been staying faithful. Listen, you're about to win big.
Definition of a winner is someone who never let losing stop them. And the idea that a single loss in a competition is somehow a defeat is completely insane. Let's say you're a good player and you lose the tournament. It's like, well, so what? You played the game. You're increasing your skills. Life isn't a game. It's a series of games. And the right ethic is to be the winner of the series of games. And part of that means learn how to be a good loser, because you're not going to win every single game. Because to be a winner, you want to be disciplined. You want to know what you're doing. And then you want to be on the edge where your skills are being developed. And if you're going to be on the edge where your skills are going to be developed, you're at a place where losing is always a possibility. Because otherwise you're not pushing yourself beyond your current capacity.
So what if you fail? So what if you have to start over? So what if it doesn't work out? Yeah, it's nice when your efforts pay off, but some things are just meant to teach you about the process of hard work. They're meant to humble you at the fact that sometimes you don't get what you want. but you can still be satisfied knowing that you left one less stone unturned. Not everything is supposed to lead to success, so just stay the course.
Like a good example of this is when people talk about hitting rock bottom. When you get to a point where you really can look at yourself objectively and think like, oh, shit, what have I been doing? Like that's a state, that's a mental state where you are very prone and you have a very high potential to be able to say, okay, I can't do this anymore. I got to change something.
You deserve your breakthrough. You deserve your next level. You deserve your healing. Stop discrediting yourself and give yourself some damn credit. Everything you've been through, you survived through. And I'm gonna just tell you right now, everything that you're going through, you're making it through in this moment. Give yourself some credit, man. If somebody would have saw your story, your movie of your life, they would have been counted you out. Everybody who counted you out, even yourself, and you're still here, you're worth it.
It's your time. It's been your time. For too long, for too many seasons, for too many reasons, you've allowed yourself to be small in rooms. You weren't born to be small. It's your time, it's your turn. Now you gotta be willing to take it because no one's gonna give it to you. It's time for you to start declaring some things in your life. In this season of life, it is not like it was when you were a child where you sit still and let others in still. No, you must insist that what you are, resist the fact that you have to be limited by the parameters of a box or that what someone else wants to say. In fact, if they want a box, then put your dukes up because you come out fighting. I fight for what I want. I fight for who I am. I fight for those who need me to be a defender of them. That's what you are. But you can't be small when you come into a room.
I'm not saying I don't care about you. I'm not saying I don't care about these hard times that you go through, but most people do not care. The very small window in life that you have to succeed is not just gonna stay there. You have to put in the work despite how you feel. And guess what? If you just so happen to do that, that is how you build toughness.
Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant and gorgeous and talented and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you.
When you watch a movie instead of doing your work, that's called instant gratification. You feel really good while you're watching it, and you're happy you're not doing your work. But when the movie's over and you're alone, you realize that you don't have that thing to show for it. You don't have that work that really lasts. Nothing is achieved without some perspiration. Nothing. Anything that is worth anything. If you really want to be successful, you have to work at it.
And that's why you have to continuously have that inner dialogue and bring yourself back, you know, and remind yourself that things are exactly as they're meant to be. Release the expectations, forget the picture of how I think my life needs to be going at this specific time, and just live in this moment, right? And as you continue to just take steps each and every day, trying to make the most out of what you have now, you're gonna start evolving and growing into new seasons, into new opportunities, into new phases, right? And you're gonna reach points where one day you look back and you're like, wow, I actually had to go through that to get to where I am now. And I realized that that was happening for a reason.